He's kicked a sausage! What the bloody hell's going on? Brodie Grundy has kicked a goal with 4 seconds left.
Bill, I've
Yes.
promised you some big
No.
guests, and I have delivered. But I'll tell you what else. When this bloke wandered through the doors in 2013 at the Pies, I
Yes.
declared to everyone who would listen that he was going to be an out-and-out star, and wasn't I right?
You were indeed. Hey, welcome, Brodie, to the Rush Hour. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Days. Good to be here.
And what are your first impressions of Daisy back then in 2013?
Well,
Did I talk to
I
you?
was a young 18-year-old, so he was in one said rap pack,
Oh, yes.
as they call it.
Yeah,
so
the naughty boys.
I tried to get right under his wing. No, it was good. You had a bit of a troublesome ankle during that time as well. He could actually push it on the bench press.
Oh,
I remember he could actually lift some weights. So
no.
him.
Him.
Yeah, it was
I
impressive.
started
actually.
throwing him around for a bit there, yeah. See, this is good. This is why I got him in. A nice pump up for myself.
Exactly.
Plenty going on in your life, mates. What's the latest? How are you?
How
are
you
things?
feeling?
Yeah. How am I feeling? I'm feeling good. I was just saying off air. It feels a little bit unusual though to be in the studio this time of year. Usually I'm doing some sort of extravagant trip. Last year I was in Morocco and south of Spain. So
Marrakesh.
yeah, we went there and but mate, there's nowhere else I'd rather be than in the Triple M Rush Hour studio right now. So I've penciled this in
Yeah.
Yes.
and looking forward to it.
Oh, exactly. No, now tell us, when do we go to Sydney?
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously you're going up there to the Sydney Swans. Have you had a look? Because I've had a look at the rentals up there, road.
This is the research he's done for
This
you,
is the
Brodie.
research I've done. Here they are, right?
You've actually, and just everyone at home, he's literally printed out
Yeah.
about 4 or 5 pages from what I can see.
So you can go to Rose Bay, Double Bay, or Summer Bay.
Yeah.
That's home and away.
Yeah.
So you can go to Double Bay, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. This is to rent per week, 4,200.
Yeah, I'm speechless.
Righto. We can go to Vaucluse. It's
Oh,
now
nice.
very,
There we go.
very nice. It's 4 beds, 3 bathrooms, 5,000 a week, but the bond is also 20 grand.
Wow.
Yes. Or Point Piper. Actually, it's just Point Piper, not Piper, Point Piper. And that's only 2,600 a week. So have you had a look at the rentals?
Yes, I have.
Because you move around a little bit, so we're thinking you mightn't want to buy straight up. You've got to have a rental.
Yes. Well, we're well, funnily enough, we've been pretty settled in Melbourne for the last sort of 11 years, and I can't say 12 months ago I was picturing after my first trade that I'd be getting traded again and going up to Sydney. So we've found a little rental just in North Bondi, which is a great little spot to land, and we'll be settling in there the first sort of 6 to 12 months, and only 10, 12 minutes from training, which is
Beautiful.
a little bit different to the drive out to Casey, which is which we're doing
A little bit
during the
different.
year.
North Bondi fish and icebergs and Subway in Narre Warren. But take us back, because we were having a chat yesterday when we knew you were coming on. How did it all finish up at the Pies? Because it seemed like it was pretty abrupt and a bit of a shock.
Because, if I can say, I remember watching, you're the number 1 ruckman at Collingwood. You were flying. You had 1 or 2 bounces against the Crows one day, kick a nice little...
In the pissing down rain.
Yeah, in the wet. Gave one to Treloar, got it back, bounce, goal. Like, you're on fire. Then another time you kicked that goal in the goal square, close game against the
That was
Tide.
the one we heard, JB calling.
Yeah, you were on fire. Number 1 ruckman. What happened there at Collingwood?
Yeah, it feels like a lifetime ago now, but it was only really, probably only really 12 months.
Yeah.
So it goes to show how quickly the landscape does move. I think, the team continues to evolve, and I was had played my last game on Anzac Day, so that's why it probably feels like so long ago, 2022. So. And then, just some great team performances, and we have, some other quality ruckmen there at Collingwood, and just missed the rest of the season through injury, and it was probably in both parties' best interest to explore that trade, and went to Melbourne.
Do I remember correctly, though, that you said you wanted to stay? Or you were hopeful?
Yeah, I mean, I think initially, when I signed my long-term contract, that I didn't think that I'd be, moving from Collingwood.
Yep.
But as things sort of eventuated, it was probably the right thing for both parties, and went across the road and went to Melbourne, and 12 months on, I'm
going to
trying
Sydney.
again and going to Sydney.
But that was strange from outside. And we got no idea, okay? But you go to Melbourne and they got Max Gawn, who's the number one ruckman, and obviously you thought...
Come on, Bill.
Well, did he say
I think you did. That's fair.
No, but he's the number one ruckman going around, and then you go there, and we go, why would you go there, bro?
Yeah.
Well,
And Max is a great player.
Yeah.
And I can get that. I sort of made myself redundant there, didn't I? No, Max. Well, Max is just incredible, to be honest. When sort of going through that recruitment drive, and Goody, and the pitch was great, and really invested, and wanted to really see that through. But as I said, sort of with Collingwood, things can change, and you've got to be agile when these times, Bill. You can't stay static, and you've got to be flexible. And I think the industry has evolved a lot, and you've got to be able to have those mature, honest conversations at the right time. And it was probably again in the best interest for both parties again. So hoping that it's really fruitful up in Sydney.
So do we.
What was the discussion though? What was the sell? Was it like we all expected again from the outside, that it was 1-2 and away you go?
Well, I think from my perspective, just being so settled here in Victoria, the appeal of being so close to home, and being not too disruptive. I'm studying as well a master's at Melbourne Business School, so there was a few other factors at play, and I suppose that's one of the things that people don't really consider about the football players, that they've got other elements of their life that they need to consider, other family and their jobs and their careers and their aspirations. So it's not as simple as where does Brodie Grundy want to play and get minutes. So it's a funny one. And I mean, how did you find it, sort of, Daisy, moving to Carlton? And
He went for the money.
Your transition.
No,
because it is true. Like, everybody has different sort of factors that they need to weigh up.
And this is why I sort of posed the question off the top. How are you? Because, in my experience of being sort of wound up at the end, and a contract that was taken away, and an offer that I couldn't really refuse from a team up the road as opposed to staying. But there was no doubt throughout my time that you lose a bit of love for the game. You lose why you play the game. And I think you sort of have to try and reinvent why you do. Did you have those? Did you have that? And again, it's 12 months on now, and I guess you're going through it all again.
Yeah, not so much at Collingwood. My last, just unfortunately, my last 6-8 months I was injured.
Yeah.
So I was blessed though to be a part of the inner sanctum during that time, and we can see now, only 12 months on, that they go and pinch the flag. So full respect to Collingwood and what they're about. They're a great organisation. But coming around this year, so what was your question?
Well, no, it was. Have you lost any love for the game? But
that's right. Well, playing VFL.
Yes.
It's pretty sobering when you get dropped, Daisy and Bill.
Yes.
I don't know if you ever got dropped, Bill.
Mate.
every second week.
I had a bloke called Ablett that was kicking.
So it's tough, and it's there's that identity piece as well, which a big part of what we do is our jobs, and we get a lot of satisfaction out of that, and when that isn't where we want it to be, it's hard to reconcile. And for me, sort of getting towards the end of my career, or closer towards the end, I want to be able to maximise my time playing AFL footy.
I can't believe you played 17 games this year for Melbourne. Honestly, I would have thought you might have played 8 or 10. Played 17.
This is a roast.
No, it's not. Because that's not a bad year. 17 games, 4 in the VFL, and they tried to play up forward, and you're playing out of Casey. And honestly, I remember watching it one day, and you're going, what are they doing with him? Like, fair income. And you feel like, honestly, felt for you. So was there a time when maybe you're driving out to Casey and it's windy and all that, and you say, this is a time, and this is the moment that I'm not going to play with the Demons next year.
Yeah, Bill. Honestly, I didn't think that. I didn't have that thought.
Right.
I try and I speak about like the industry as a whole, sort of evolving, and I think it takes two. You know, the players have got to have got to buy in as well, and the way I've tried to conduct myself is just to be as professional as I can be. I'm, at the time employed by the Melbourne Football Club to come in to train, challenge Max at training, try and play on Stephen May and Jake Lever in the forward line, and and that's the other thing. You've got to try and see the light in those opportunities. It's a matter of perspective and framing. And I thought, I'm not too old to throw in the towel. I actually did want to really give it a go and see if I could, come in and play finals and kick some goals.
Yeah.
But it wasn't to be.
How did the chat go, though, with the Ds? Was it you that broached it, or did they come to you and say, look, we came with this idea, it didn't work out? Run us through that.
Yeah, I think we just sort of had a mutual sort of conversation towards the end, and a lot of it was going along in the background with my manager, Robbie D'Orazio, who did a fantastic job at sort of brokering that. But I just sort of spoke to Goody transparently, and we were having conversations all the way through. And hand on heart, I don't have a bad word to say about Melbourne.
Yeah.
I think the people there are fantastic, and for all it's worth, I actually really enjoyed my time there.
That's
just my 2 hours on the weekend wasn't where I wanted to be, and I'm here to play AFL footy, so that's what's led me to Sydney, and I'm looking forward to really making it there.
Sydney, not via Port Adelaide. Was that a viable option at any point? Because you're an Adelaide boy.
Go home. Factor might have been there.
Mum was a bit flat.
Bloody hell, yes.
Yeah, Mum was a bit flat, but ultimately we felt, for me and my partner, that it was the best thing for my footy. Up in Sydney, so we're pumped.
What about the media hype? Do you buy in? Do you listen to the radio? Do you read the papers and all that? Because there's a lot of Brodie Grundy stuff being written.
There's a lot been written for someone who's playing in the twos this year.
Well, there was, mate. Yeah.
It's hard to escape, Bill, I think. In this modern age, the TikTok algorithms and whatnot.
The what?
I think it's hard to escape, but you've got to. You can't keep your head in the sand. You've got to have a finger on the pulse. It would be remiss of me to think that I can just exist in a vacuum. You've got to know, particularly when there's quite significant narratives being spun about you. You've got to sort of have a finger on the pulse for when you get interviewed on the Triple M Rush Hour.
Exactly.
So you can have a seat at the table and be informed.
Well done.
I mean, and Daisy would be able to speak to this. You've got to be able to compartmentalize that. And I think as I'm getting older, I'm able to do that a lot better. And, I'd love to hear from you, Days, how you found that through,
There's
even
plenty about you,
your transition even to Carlton, arch rival of Collingwood. And
I'll tell you what I did. I turned Twitter off for a very long time, Brodie.
and Twitter is a different. Twitter hits different.
Oh.
Twitter is
scathing.
Is it?
They
So
don't miss.
Insta's all right?
Insta, well, you can block words on Insta. So like sellout, dog, rat, they were the ones that I took out. So it looks like everyone likes me, but it is, the feedback comes quickly and from very many angles.
Yeah, it does. And it's something that, it's a double-edged sword because we are so contactable. We're only, a keyboard away or a screen away. And that's been fantastic. I've really loved that about the opportunity that I have as an AFL player. And
when you are quite prolific on there.
Well, when I came into Collingwood, the big beast that Collingwood is, it was really encouraged that players should, get on board and have a brand on social media, have a platform, because you can reach so many fantastic people and fans and engage with them and hear their stories, but it does come with a downside, and we don't have to look too far to see how that can impact players, emotionally, mentally, and I think we just need to be conscious of that at times.
Wikipedia is always interesting. So I'm going to throw some things at you here, Brodie Grundy, that I've heard rumours about you.
Strap yourself in.
Well, I hope there's a cat. Is there a cat on there?
Hang on.
Okay, I won't even. I'm going to steal your thunder.
No,
but you
no,
go.
yeah.
You go.
Righto. Is it true you spray paint trains?
Under an alias, Bill.
Oh, there we go. Yes. So, what's your tag?
No, not anymore. In another life. Bill,
Yeah.
in another life.
Did you?
Yeah, all legal, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that legal?
Oh, well, you get permission from PTV.
Righto.
Put your
So
balaclava
it's
on
good.
and
It's good. Good spray painting.
No, I've my mum was a photographer and painted growing up, and
Arty.
yeah, it's just something that I've
Great.
obviously been interested off field. And when I moved to Melbourne, that's obviously a flourishing scene here, is the graffiti sort of street art scene, and
Yeah.
got a big appreciation for it, Bill.
Well, good. You're very, very intelligent. You can tell by the way he answers the questions. I don't know if we've had too many footballers that answer it so well. So off field, what are you doing? A Bachelor of,
He's doing a Master's.
or a Masters of?
I ticked that off, Bill. That
Yeah.
was
What
2
is
years
that?
ago.
And what are you going to become? What are you going to become down the track?
Well, it's there's no finish point, Bill.
Right.
It's not you become. We are becoming. It's there's no finish line.
Oh, yeah.
So
Go on.
what,
Give
you
me
just
more,
keep
give me
going
more
to
of this.
uni for
Give me more of the
15 years?
profound stuff.
You go to uni for 15 years, do you?
Nah. So the plan was to come out of uni and did the bachelor, the health science. Wanted to be a physio,
Yes.
and then I was in the playing footy for a long time, and I thought, wow, okay, there's more to the world than that health discipline.
Yes.
So I met some interesting people and had some great mentors, and they suggested, why don't you try and develop some of your business acumen? So I went down. I'm now doing a Masters of Business Admin at Melbourne Business School. So we'll finish that
Wow.
term 1 next year, and interested in sort of wealth management, funds management, strategy consulting, that sort of space. So some good opportunities. I'd like to,
I've got a business. You can come work for me.
follow down that. So
And the last one, bro. Do you walk a cat?
you found it. No, never walked a cat with a pink lead, and I did drive a Vespa, but never walked a cat with a pink lead. I have heard that one.
Have you got a cat?
No, I don't even have a cat.
Oh,
so
there you go.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, I don't
What
know.
about, so you're off to Sydney in the next month or so. Have you knocked around with any of the D's boys? Taylor Adams going up there as
Yeah,
well.
Tay.
What's the last bit of the transition period look like?
The D's boys, yeah. I just had lunch. Just come straight from having lunch with Alex Neil Bullen. So as I said, some great characters there. A lot of them are overseas at the moment, but just had coffee and keep in touch with a few of those boys. Spoke to Tay, obviously, who's coming up to Sydney as well, and really excited about what that looks like for us on field there, which will be really exciting for the Swans fans, and for me personally as well, having someone that I've played a lot of footy with straight off the bat. I don't really know too many guys at Sydney, so looking forward to having someone day one that I've obviously played a lot of footy with.
A good young midfield too.
Ooh, yeah.
Broads. That'd be nice to work with. Nice small ground. You could ruck all day.
You're keen, Bill.
I am for you. I want to see you do well, mate.
Nah, same.
Yeah.
So do I. So, smaller ground,
Yep.
contested. That's
Yeah.
sort of my sort of brand. So, hopefully, stay out there as long as I can and have some impact.
And the body's all good for the
Body-
Swans fans listening?
The body is very good. Hitting the pool a couple of times a week, just trying to look after those joints. And starting to get into that training off season. So day one, I'm in good shape.
Good on you. Been very interesting chat because you are too intelligent. Is he the smartest bloke you know in football days?
In this room.
Not hard.
In football, yeah, absolutely.
No.
Yes.
But you've always had one eye on, obviously, the athlete side of it, but also what comes after that. So it's very admirable. And you don't do a lot of media, so we are very thankful of
We
you
are.
giving up your time, coming in, speaking so honestly. And from the bottom of my heart, and I certainly,
Yes.
the Rush Hour and Triple M family, will want to see you go up to Sydney and dominate, because your best footy, I think, is still ahead of you. and we'd love to watch on and hear you doing and dominating the scene. So thanks very much for coming
Thanks,
in, and all
Stace.
the best.
Thanks, guys.
On you, bro.
Appreciate it.